Welcome in, everybody, to another week of the Weekly Peel. I am John.
And I am Peter.
And we are your hosts for now.
We might not be around next week, but we're here now.
Who knows? Who knows? This is what we're going with. And we've got a very fun and enjoyable show. We are going to be talking today about the best kids movies of all time. We're going to be drafting them. We're going to be drafting 3, then talking about the ultimate number 1 pick and defending why it is that.
Head to
head. Peter versus John. Maziot versus Stauffer. Brother versus, or cousin, I guess cousin. Cousin versus cousin.
There we go. And joke's on us. We choose the same number 1 probably.
I have a feeling we will.
It'd be anticlimactic, as usual. No. Let's do it.
Peter, how are you doing? How was your week?
I'm doing good, This morning I posted my summer in review photo dump on the Instagrams and Facebook.
The Instagrams.
Yeah, so it definitely feels like summer is over. We got a hurricane coming in today, finally made its way up to the East Coast. And it's just rainy, a little chilly, and it just feels like summer is over. It's a little darker, too.
Yeah. So we had our, because for those of you listening that don't know, I'm a youth pastor, and we had our summer finale last night, and it was a color war. Well, it wasn't, by the time you listened to it, it was a few days ago, but it was a color war, and we did slip and slide soccer, which is awesome. We got like a huge, like I would say over 100 feet of tarp that it's like a huge industrial farming tarp that somebody let us use. So that was super fun.
Wow.
But we were really nervous about the storm coming through and all that stuff. Just kind of wondering is it going to hit us? What's going to happen? And
right.
I think we're good, and it's pretty clear right now, but I think it's going to hit us bad in a little bit. But people were like, "Is a storm coming?" And I'm like, "I don't know."
So that's why we say we're your hosts for now.
For now. Dude, come on. I just made an Ida joke, and you didn't even, it went.
Oh, what did you say?
They said, "Are we going to get a storm?" And I said, "I don't know."
That's a good one.
And you just kept going. But that's why we're your hosts for now, because we might get wiped out.
I was too fixated on my own joke to know yours.
Yeah, I know. It's a struggle. It's a power struggle.
Won't happen again.
Power struggles, So, that was it was fun. The rain, that was pretty much the highlight of my week. I made all the color powder for the color war.
By hand.
And by feet. No, by hand. And it took I was expecting it to be very quick because I found a quote unquote quick recipe, and it took me 8 hours of just making just making this color powder, and
it's gone in 2 minutes, right?
It was gone in 30 seconds. Literally, I was 8 hours worth of work for 30 seconds of joy.
30 glorious seconds.
Yeah, but it was a wonderful time.
Good. I'm glad to hear that.
Yes, sir. And Peter, you're gonna be coming to see me this week.
Yes.
In person.
We have exciting things coming up. We have a wedding that's very close to John, and so me and my wife will get to spend the night there. Get to see John's little boy Joshua.
Yeah.
And have some good times.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be fantastic. Hopefully, we'll be able to record an episode in person at some point while you're there.
Our first ever podcast together.
Oh shoot, in person. Yeah, that's kind of weird. I had never thought about it like that.
I know.
And even when you came on Manlier Things, you were over the we just.
That's true. I was
recorded
in
you
Pittsburgh.
on the phone. Oh, you were. Yeah, you were over the phone.
So never together.
Yeah. Wow. We've never. I'm kind of nervous now. I'm kind of scared. This thing could go down the crapper real fast.
That might be the end, the last episode.
Yeah, that'll be it. No. So, Peter, we talked about doing the best kids movies, and I want to let you know why I was like, hey, this could be a good idea. I know we both love movies, and
correct.
And kids movies are honestly amazing, and they just are. But and it's gonna be on my list today. I had watched a movie that maybe I saw when I was a kid, maybe once. And I watched it the other day, and it blew my mind. It's from the 90s.
Really?
We will get to it. It blew my mind, and I was like, and you would just text me what do you want to do podcasts on? And I was like, kids movies, because it's a gold mine.
I'm looking at my list. I don't think I have any before 2000.
Really?
Yeah. Now that I'm
Okay.
like looking at it, I don't think any of these were 90s.
Yeah, I had that problem. Like most of mine are from the 2000s. I think no. Well, okay, but a couple of them. So I had like a list of I think 13, and I was like, this is really
Oh my
crazy.
gosh. That's a good childhood right there.
Yeah, yep, it is. Faith Like Potatoes. Like it's like the worst Christian movie
Just
ever
the
made.
classics. So I have a fun fact. So this is just a crazy perspective thing. So the movie Emperor's New Groove, which you remember this
I
from when you were a
forgot
kid.
about it.
This movie came out in the year 2000.
No way.
I was 2
the
years
heck?
old when this movie came out.
I remember seeing the trailer, like it had just come out, and we were watching a movie, and I was like, "Oh, that looks super funny. We got to
Yeah.
see that." I was 2.
That's what I thought.
That's really scary.
I looked it up. It's the year 2000, unless this website was totally wrong.
I'll fact check you, Peter. Wait, was that
Yeah,
your first? Was that your
2000,
first
yeah.
pick or no?
Just looked it up again. No, that
I was
just
like,
was
really-
crazy to me as I was looking around.
Well, yeah. There's so many movies you look at and you're like, this was made like. Okay, for instance, like the Spider-Man trailer dropped. Was it this week or last week?
Yeah, just this past week.
Yeah, and like I can't believe it's been like, I think it's been like 20 years since Doc Ock was, or almost 20 years. Maybe it's 19. I don't know. It's been a long time. Either way, it's like I think what is it 2000? No, I'm sorry, it was 2004. It was 2004. So it's been 17 years. Like
Okay.
what? I used to watch that all the time. It doesn't feel like it was that long ago.
Yeah.
And also, I'm having trouble finding Emperor's New Groove, and I don't know why. Is it a real movie?
It is. Or Google erased it, maybe.
Oh man, maybe I just have
I
a problem.
I just looked it up again. It said 2000, but
Okay.
who knows?
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I think I just had a little bit of a stroke, and I typed in like Emporium or something. I don't know. No, because that's all that came up was Mr. Magoo's.
Mr. Emporium.
Mr.
Mr. Magoo's.
Do you know who Mr. Magoo is?
What do you mean?
Do you know who that is?
I thought it was a cartoon.
It is, but that's why I got
plays him?
confused.
No.
I just didn't I just didn't know if you knew. Like,
Yes, I know who the character
okay.
is.
Wow. Well, this is a train wreck. All right, Peter. You want to jump into this stuff?
I want to jump in.
All right, you want to take the first pick. So we're going to be doing this like a draft pick. So like if I pick, Mr. Magoo's Emporium, if I choose one of those movies, then it is off the table. There is because we are going to be putting this up as a poll, and the people are going to vote whose list is better.
I don't think we're going to have a match. I think I have a lot of honorable mentions. It sounds like you do too, but I don't think our top 3 are going to be the same. Anyways,
Yeah.
I'm going to kick it off at number 3. This is one that just popped into my head this morning, and it secured a number 3 spot, but the movie Megamind.
That is such a good movie.
Right?
And I completely forgot about it.
I know full-grown adults that is their favorite movie. Not kids' movie. It's just their favorite movie. And I found like it only has gotten like better as you get older. Like, you just appreciate all the jokes more. And I think so my criteria for like what makes a good kids movie is a good message. So the protagonists, they learn something important about life. So it's a good, healthy message, and it continues to be a good movie as you get older, or even improves. But I wasn't a kid when I watched that. I was maybe like 15-ish, around that.
Wait, what? Did you watch it late or like?
Yeah, late.
Oh, okay. I was like, we were young when it came out. But okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
No, so I didn't watch it for a while, but it's just so funny. So morals, I don't remember exactly what was so good about that. I mean, it's about a bad guy, but
he
learns to be
good?
he learns to be good. Yeah, and I forget why he becomes good, but man, what a movie.
I think I know why it's not in my memory at all, because so when we first moved to where we currently live in the Eastern Shore of Virginia, we had no we had Wi-Fi, but the download speed was like 2. and so we would just get a bunch of movies from like the $3.74, $3.74 bin, or like the $5 bins. There's a cheaper one. There's not at Walmart. It's not just $5.
Is there a $3.74?
It's $3.74.
I've never heard of that.
Go to your Walmart and check it out. And Megamind's always in there. And I'm like, we should get this. And Amaris, my wife, is like, oh no, I don't really like that movie. Oh no. And she always puts up a big stink. And I think that's why. But I think I need to put my foot down and watch it.
You got Will Ferrell, Tina Fey, whatever. Jonah Hill. That's what I was trying to think of. Man alive. Some incredible lines in that movie.
Who's the superhero guy? Is it?
Yeah, I think he's someone notable too. But
is it Brad Pitt?
No, I can't remember.
Ooh,
but he's not as much of a character. Like,
yeah, no, he's not.
Yeah,
but it is Brad Pitt. Yeah, Metro Man.
Really? Oh, wow.
Oh, and then David Cross is in it. Ben Stiller.
A deep cut.
I didn't know Ben Stiller was in it.
Who's he?
He's Bernard. J.K. Simmons is in this movie. Peter, this is I don't like to applaud your picks because we're competing, but this is a great pick.
Thank you. All right, so now on to your number 3.
All right, my number 3. This could potentially tank my whole list in the polls because it's from this is the movie I was talking about. It is from 1995, and 95. Yeah, that's a long time ago.
Three years before Peter and John
graced the earth. and so the other day, my wife and I were like, oh, we should watch a movie. We should put something on. My son was getting ready to go to sleep, so we're like, let's put something on that he'll enjoy too. And then we ended up like putting it on, pausing it, and being like, we're gonna finish this later when he goes to bed because this is amazing. And it was a Goofy movie.
Oh, dude. Okay.
So I've heard the rumors that a Goofy movie is severely underrated. And when we watched it the other day, it blew my mind. I was dying laughing. And it's a movie I saw as a kid. But like it had been so far removed from my memory that it wasn't like okay, like I'm starting to watch it and now I remember the whole plot. As each scene was coming on, I'm like, I vaguely remember. I remember that. I remember, but like as it was happening.
Which that kind of helps, right?
It does.
With the overall experience.
Yeah, and it was like the old school animation. It wasn't like the extremely Goofy movie wasn't as good. We tried that. It just wasn't. And it was like that like 3D kind of computer animated like stuff. And yeah, so like it was a little different, but like the jokes and everything were so funny. And it was like very even like I thought it was like maybe early 2000s. I didn't realize it was 1995. Because some of the like I was relating to it, like some of the jokes I'm like, "Oh, this is like my time," not realizing it was before my time.
Oh. Well, but probably is there like a lot of cuz it's about a dad and his son, right? So did you appreciate like some of the dad stuff about it? I know it's about a teenager and you have like a 1-year-old, but
yeah, well, I mean, a little bit. Like it definitely felt like bad for Goofy, like but just some of the stuff like when they're in school and like the school president comes up and she's like trying to talk to like the student council president or whatever. She's like up there talking, and it's like just they act so 90s or so early 2000s, and they're all like yelling. The one guy goes, he's like, "Stacey, give it to me, give it to me." Just the way like it was just so like random, but it was like so funny. Like I was like, "What is this movie?" Like
that's amazing.
It was just hilarious, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. It is severely underrated. And that's going to be my number 3 pick.
I'll have to go back and watch it. Is it on Disney Plus?
Go for it. It's on Disney Plus. You will be very happy.
Come on. All right. So now is it your number 2 or my number 2?
Your number 2.
Mine? Well, because I thought it was like the offset draft.
Oh, do we do that? Oh, like the snake draft? I don't remember.
It doesn't have to be.
Do we? What did we do last time? It's been a while since
I think we did
drafted.
snake draft.
Okay. Well, I can go if you'd like.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
I don't want to. You can potentially take my pick this time. I don't want to steal yours.
That's true. All right. So this movie is more recent. It is one that came out maybe 2019. I'm not really 100% sure. But it is a movie that I have watched several times, and that is Coco.
Huh. Okay.
Coco. So I love like Pixar. I think Pixar is one of like the best like filmmakers like out there. Like I just think they're amazing. Like every movie is fantastic. I think we've established that here before. But Coco was one of the most beautiful animated movies ever. Like when he goes into like the weird like alternate world or whatever he's at, and he's looking around and there's all these like colors and these beautiful things. I literally was like astonished. Like I was like I know it sounds funny, but like my mouth dropped open. I'm like, this is gorgeous. Like
I cried.
Wow. I did. No, I didn't. No, but it did pull on the heartstrings. I think it was hilarious. The music was amazing. It definitely made me tear up a little bit towards the end.
Okay.
Some nice twists and turns. And I don't want to, I don't know. It's been out for a couple years, but I don't think, you haven't seen it?
I have seen it, but mine was not like the optimal viewing experience. I was an RA at the time. We were checking in all the new students and like all the RAs. We had kind of Coco like playing there on the table, but we would have to like pause it, like check somebody in, come back to it, half paying attention. So
yeah, dude, when he finds out that the guy that's been helping him the whole time is actually his grandfather.
Spoilers.
Spoiler alert. Spoiler.
Sorry, kids.
Sorry, I thought it's been a couple years, so I thought we were good. That's why I was checking for you. I forgot about the unseen listeners. The whole reason we're doing this. Yeah, I completely forgot we were recording a podcast here. I think people are going to hear this.
Here we go.
Yeah, so I will say number 2, Coco. I think it is all around. The music's great. It was super funny. The animation was breathtaking, and it was just... I can't. I want to go watch it again.
Let me ask you a question, John.
Yes.
What is Coco? What does he learn? How does he change?
He learns that. I'm trying to think. I've seen this movie so many times. Well, family gets restored. That's the beautiful thing in Coco.
Family gets restored.
They find out that, you know what, he wasn't so bad. He had good reasons for leaving.
Okay, he didn't like. Was it kind of like a Home Alone thing where he like didn't appreciate his family at the beginning or something? Or
no. So he kind of. He didn't really care for his family too much, but because they didn't like music, they were like they banned music. So that
was the whole reason why it was the dead guys, right?
Yeah, it was in him. Spoilers. Like the music was in him. Then he was like, oh man, like the main guy, I forgot like the something De La Cruz. I forgot his name, but like this big famous guy was like his grandfather. But come to find out, he stole all the music from the grandfather. Actually killed the grandfather. It's a little bit crazy.
Yeah, it gets dark.
Yeah, it does. Dark. But he ended up killing the grandfather and all that stuff. That's why he never came back. But like, and again, spoilers, so I'm so sorry. Maybe skip ahead. But like, towards the end, when they're singing this song and like the grandmother realizes, she's like, that's the song my dad sang me. And like, it was like basically like lost to like she hadn't heard it in years.
She like comes out of her coma.
Pretty much. Great movie. I want to go watch it again.
Okay, maybe I'll have to as well. So, I guess I'm still on number 2. Okay, I was gonna skip ahead. No, so my number 2. Okay, so Megamind and this, I was extremely surprised by. These were 2 movies that I thought when I saw the trailers, I was like, this is little kiddish. The humor looks like, like toilet jokes and like just little kid stuff. I was like, I was maybe like 10 years old when this came out. I don't know. But Despicable Me was such a good movie.
Yes.
And I just saw the trailers. I was like, oh, these little like minion guys. It's so gimmicky. And it did become very gimmicky like later on in the franchise. But
that's debatable.
I didn't watch the rest of the movies, so who am I to say? But Despicable Me 1 is an incredible movie. And it kind of kickstarted this was like the first movie or at least kids movie, where like the bad guy is the main character. He's the one that you're supposed to be like rooting for. Or he's not the bad guy, but he's like a bad guy.
Yeah.
That's the whole plot. And he kind of like throughout the movie, he takes on these 3 little orphan girls and as his adopted daughters, and it's for selfish gain at first, and then they win over his heart, and he becomes a good stand-up dad by the end of the movie. And you
gotta love Steve Carell.
Steve Carell,
he's the
didn't even remember that. Yeah,
dude.
And then I don't know who plays him, but Vector, the like actual bad guy, is incredible.
Yeah,
he steals a pyramid, and it's
Oh,
just like it's just in his backyard with like a blue tarp over the back to look like sky. Oh,
such good movies.
incredible movie.
I was trying to see. Yeah, I was gonna look it up, but I don't really feel like it. We'll figure out
Yeah.
at some point who he is.
It's
I
pretty
think
slap.
he's somebody. That is a great movie. And honestly, okay, so I thought the same thing. Like it's gonna get kind of gimmicky as it goes on.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see Minions?
I didn't. So that's
Yeah.
where I guess it was the same thing. Like I looked at the trailer and I was like, all right, I'm like whatever, like
Yeah.
17 at this point. I was like, I'm kind of over this. But
Despicable Me 3 was it was not the best, but they Despicable Me 2 was great. Minions was fantastic.
okay.
King Bob. There's a lot of good stuff like that happened in that.
Okay. Yeah,
But,
the second one kind of sucked, and then I didn't even bother with the third one or Minions
Yeah.
at that point. But maybe I should give it a second chance. You never know.
All right, Peter, you're number one before we choose the ultimate pick.
So I was gonna do honorable mentions, but in case your number one is in
Let's
any
wait.
of mine, let's hold off on that. Okay, so my number one, since I was a kid, my favorite movie, my most watched
I know what this
movie
is.
of all time is The Incredibles. The Incredibles,
A great
2000
movie.
and something, 2008 maybe.
I knew you were gonna pick that.
I don't know, but man, I was like in love with this movie. So I probably have seen this movie upwards of like 20 times, just like from when I was a kid. You know, when you're a kid, like you didn't have streaming,
Yeah.
and we didn't have like the movie channels, so it was like we had it on DVD, you know, or VHS or something.
Yep.
And that was just, you would just rewatch the same. You want to watch a movie, just pick one off the shelf. You've seen it a bunch of times, and I was like, oh, I love The Incredibles. I'll pop that in. And always try to like go into like special features, like, oh, which parts haven't I seen? Like it's just so good. Like kids love the superhero stuff, and for whatever reason, I like to think that I was like kind of fast as a kid, you know, like in terms of running. So I was like, ooh, Dash. Like, yes, I
Oh.
love the super speed. Like, I was like, man, I could relate to that, Dash. You know, you're just too fast. No one can catch you. No, just kidding.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is a movie that like does improve with age too, because there's like some pretty like intense emotional like drama and family dynamics that you don't really get as a kid or appreciate. But as you like get older, you're like, dang, like my gosh, the scene where Mrs. Incredible and her kids are in the plane and there's like missiles coming.
It's really wild.
I hadn't watched Incredibles in a while. I was
Yeah.
maybe a couple years ago, but I went back and rewatched that scene and I was like, how is this in a kids movie? I was like, my heart was like pounding rewatching it. I was like he's listening to like his wife and kids like about to die.
Yo,
I was
there's
like,
some dark stuff in these movies.
yeah. Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah.
But man, like the suspense. Oh my goodness. The music, the score, Brad
It's
Bird,
so good.
incredible.
It is a great movie.
Yeah.
Did you like the
So,
second one?
I didn't hate it as much as a lot of people did. I think I might have enjoyed it more the second time around. Because the
Yeah.
first time around I was like, is this really like The Incredibles? Like it started to feel gimmicky, you know, like all
Yeah.
those new heroes. I was like, you could just, I mean, now that you kind of understand a little more of how the world
Yeah.
works as an adult, you're like, okay, these are like their new like toys that they're gonna sell. These new like superheroes and their superpowers. It was a little gimmicky, that stuff. But overall there was a lot of things I liked about it. But it's nowhere near, like not even in the same category as the first one.
I'm in the same boat. I know a ton of people hated it, but I thought it was all right. I enjoyed it. It's Pixar. You can't really go that
enjoy
wrong,
it for what
you
it's
know?
worth, but it's not worth like saying this ruined like
No.
The Incredibles or anything.
I'm so happy that they actually showed us what happened with the Underminer, though, because like
I
that
know,
was the
right?
biggest thing. I'm like, we need to know. Like,
Yes.
this is the biggest cliffhanger ever.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
That was good.
So when
All
I was a kid, I thought that the Underminer was like somehow he was like Syndrome. Like
Really?
even though Syndrome had like blew up in the jet, I thought like I just thought that like that was the intention. Like you were supposed to know that was Syndrome or something. I was like, I was young when I watched it, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
he got like that jacked up. Like that's what he looks like now.
No,
He's
that's just some
coming
ugly
back.
guy.
Yeah.
Well, there was a video game
It's-
that like explored. So there was the Incredibles video game that came out for like I think it was GameCube, and then which was a fantastic game, one of the best. And then there was another one, and it actually you could go. I think it was like for PlayStation or something. And my neighbor had it, and you could go and like go through the tunnels and try to catch the Underminer, and like it was like. Do you remember this? I don't remember.
I didn't have a GameCube, but that's kind of where you had to explore the universe a little bit. Because I mean, now when stuff comes out, I mean, you talk about Star Wars and Marvel stuff, like you got all these like comics and whatever, but like they're just constantly pumping out stuff, and you don't like have to ask these questions for a very long time. But back then, it was like. Oh, like, is there this like this little like DS game came out, and you can like find out what happens to the Underminer, you know? Stuff like that was cool.
Yeah. All right. My number one pick, again, this is before we pick our ultimate best kids movie of all time, but my number one pick is my favorite one. What?
Oh,
was that your ultimate pick?
I forgot what we were doing. Yeah.
Was that your ultimate pick?
Yes.
Oh. Okay. Crap. Okay, maybe we can do it differently. That's fine. We'll just do 3. All right. This is my favorite pick of all. My favorite movie. Now I want to.
Well, yeah. Like, so what are you skipping over now?
No, I'm gonna.
You could. Okay. So you could just do your last 2, and I'll like debate The Incredibles, and you can debate whatever your top one is.
Okay. And I might kick one for the draft. I don't know. We'll figure it out later. We'll fix it in post.
There we go.
Okay. My favorite one of all time is Nacho Libre.
Oh,
you don't think of it as a kid's movie, but it is. Dude. Beautiful movie.
So much respect for you.
It was a Nickelodeon movie, which is that's a big step up for them. First of all, that movie is still unrivaled till today. I mean, Jack Black in spandex. He's a priest. There's orphans. It's amazing. It is literally like I just today on the way to like I was dropping my wife off at work. Sometimes I do that. Sometimes I'm a good husband. And we were talking about like something came up, and I mentioned Nacho Libre, and she is yet to finish the entire movie, but she was like that is such a good movie, and we started like quoting lines and laughing about it. I mean, it's unmatched.
So wait, so Amaris hasn't seen the whole thing?
No, she hasn't, because she never saw it when she was younger, and then she never wanted to watch it. I finally convinced her, and we watched like half of it, and she's like, "This is amazing." And because we had Paramount Plus for like a little while, and then we were like, "This streaming service is garbage," and we got rid of it, and we never finished Nacho Libre. We should have. We just didn't. Yeah,
wow.
I know. So it needs to happen.
Yeah. So that's your ultimate pick. Right?
Well, my ultimate pick was going to be Toy Story, not because I think it's the best kids movie, like personally, but it is the best kids movie ever made because of like the impact it had.
Wow.
Like it did like when you look at even like the animation style is groundbreaking.
Yeah.
If you like it's on top of every list ever. That's like the ultimate kids movie. It's not my favorite. It's up there. It's up there for sure. But people love that. That is the ultimate kids movie.
Man, I'm looking at any of my honorable mentions I could throw up there, but I don't think so. I got to stick with The Incredibles. So now we're debating The Incredibles and...
I will do Toy Story. Maybe I'll make Nacho Libre an honorable mention.
Okay. There we go.
Yeah,
sorry, I jacked
we'll
up
figure
your
that
list.
out. Dude, how dare you? Dude, Toy Story...
That was my plan all along.
Bro, I'm just... You cannot... Toy Story changed the game.
No.
It absolutely... I know... Okay, listen. If you... No, okay, you're right. If you ask people... This is incorrect, but if you ask people, like, what was the first Pixar movie, I guarantee you they will say...
Incredibles.
Yeah. Toy Story. It was Bug's Life. But dude, Toy
really?
Story... Yeah, it was. But Toy Story was just so... Like I said, groundbreaking. And, like, it just... Like, when you got Tim Allen, you got Tom Hanks... There's so many lines that came from that. It shaped a generation. And then, I mean, even to think about, like you want to talk about, like, Incredibles 2, that was all right. Toy Story 2, the best one in the freaking franchise. Absolutely.
Really?
Dude, hands down. Hands down. It goes 2, 3, 1, 4. But, like, I mean, the first, like, in my opinion. But the first one, though, is just absolutely groundbreaking. Like, it is, there's nothing like it.
Okay. So it's kind of like an honorary title you're giving it.
Yeah. Okay. It's just like it's like saying, like, you know, like obviously it's not my favorite movie, but you have to mention it. You know, you have to. It's the greatest.
Okay, so it's the greatest of all time.
Absolutely. It's like when people say Citizen Kane is the best movie ever made. Nobody really believes that. You just have to give it credit, you know?
That's so true. It's just like, I'll just take your word for it. Sure. All right, so here I'm gonna break you down from a fundamental standpoint. Why Incredibles is it tops Toy Story as the greatest kids movie of all time. You have Mr. Incredible. Hear me out.
Okay.
He is desperately trying to reclaim his glory days because he thinks that the best is in the past. He goes this whole movie trying to live a fantasy that no longer exists.
Wow.
For him to ultimately risking his family's life, inadvertently risking his family's life to reclaim this lost hero-dom. And in the end, he realizes that he's chasing adventure the whole time, and he realizes at the end that his family was the great adventure that he was supposed to be living now, that he was called to.
Wow.
And man, that just every dad in the room sheds a tear when he says to Mrs. Incredible, "I can't lose you again." Oof. And then they fight as a family. Okay, tell me the last movie that you've seen where there is a strong father figure and it's a family movie. So every member of the cast, well, so it's about a family, you know, and it's a good thing. You know, they're family. Fast and Furious.
Yeah, Fast and Furious. Duh. Dude, you're right though.
Like, tell me Mr. Incredible isn't the best dad in any kids movie.
Well,
that's kind of a claim, isn't it?
That's a bold claim. That's a very bold claim. I would have to argue that you are a liar. And, no, I don't know. It's a good point, and you know, I will say that's a very solid point. But tell me, like, what changed after you watched Incredibles? Like, what in your life made you you think, I'm fast, I'm kind of like Dash. Ooh, okay. Right? What else in your life changed after you watched that movie?
What else in my life changed? So this movie moved us to action, my family.
You guys became superheroes.
I remember after watching this one night, me and my siblings, we got to our little homeschool station, and we got our scissors, we got our markers, and we made these superhero costumes, and we made little masks, like paper masks and little like superhero symbols. And I was a super fast one. My sister was, I don't remember what my brother and sister were, but I was a really fast one. Yeah. But the point is, it moved us.
Wow. You know, that's great.
It manifested in our lives after.
Listen, that's great for the Stoffers. But did you ever look at your toys and think as a kid, when I turn my back, do they move? Did you ever think that?
I thought about it. I did.
Guess where that idea came from, Peter? Because every kid thought that, especially after Toy Story. They literally, this changed. Like, the reason we think that is because Toy Story. Because we think, oh my gosh, Andy's coming, and they all lay on the ground. You think, when I run in the room, this is what my toys are doing. You try to catch them, you try to look, you try to see, right? Or like, have you ever lost a toy, right? You start thinking about what? Toy Story. About, oh man, you start feeling bad. Oh, they're out there, they're trying to get back. Like, it changed a generation. Listen, think about this one. You were a sad and strange little man. One of the greatest lines ever. That has been used so much. I will say, there's a really good line in Incredibles, though. Woman, where's my super suit? That is amazing. Oof, I love that. But man, I would argue that Toy Story changed a generation, changed filmmaking. It gave every kid, like just think of your toys going crazy. Like, that is every kid's dream. Like, that is amazing. Think they're alive. They're going, they're doing things. The fact that Sad and Strange Little Man came out of, there's so many like quotes and lines that came out of Toy Story that just completely shifted. Think about when they're flying through the air at the end of the movie to get on the moving truck, and dude, iconic. Absolutely iconic.
I'll say it's an iconic movie, but how about that dad?
What dad? What dad?
Mr. Incredible.
You got me there. You got me there. And honestly, don't even ask me which movie I personally like better. Because it's Incredibles, absolutely. But you gotta listen. You gotta appreciate greatness. You gotta appreciate the best.
That's true. There is greatness in Toy Story. I'll give it that. So we'll leave it up to our listeners. We'll put out that poll on Instagram,
yes, sir.
And we'll see. Who do you think is the best, Mr. Incredible or Mr.
The absent dad?
Yeah, that's right. There's a lack of a.
What's better, Mr. Incredible as a dad or not having a father at all?
They never explain. There's just no dad. Oh.
Yeah. Do you have any honorable mentions?
I do. I want to say one weird fact I know about Toy Story though. So Andy has it was like you said, it was one of, if not the first animated movie ever made, 3D animation, and they just didn't have like the character designs. They didn't have a lot of them to go around. So if you watch the scene from Andy's birthday, it's all Andy. Every kid there is Andy.
How did that
It's the same face. They just like, some of them have a hat, some of them have a different shirt, but every kid is there is Andy.
Oh, that's so great.
And I'm pretty sure even what's his face, like the kid next door, Sid.
He's basically Andy. Yeah,
he's like just a slightly varied version of Andy. So I just love that so much.
It's great. It's so good. And then I think that there was a lot of stuff with Toy Story. So I think it was the second one or the first one, like got like erased from all the computers in Pixar. They were like done. They worked on it like I think it might have been the second one, maybe. I don't know, but
what?
So the first or the second, people were literally like working around the clock to make this movie, and it was like this huge deal, like where people literally had mental breakdowns trying to get this movie done. Like it was grueling, but they wanted to do it. They wanted to get it done. They really worked hard, and then it got deleted from like it was like 90% done, and it got deleted from every computer at Pixar. And,
wow.
and luckily, one of like the, I don't know, like vice president or whoever it was, some high up executive, like was, I guess, very meticulous about things. So she brought a computer home so she could like continue to see the work that they were doing. So when they all got erased in the building, hers still had it. So they she had to go to her house, and they said like she drove like on like with like her like flashers on, and they strapped it in and put like cushions around it and everything to bring the only copy of Toy Story 2. Like it almost didn't happen. I think it was Toy Story 2. It like almost didn't happen.
Wow. I had never heard that.
Dude, look it up. It's actually crazy. Like the behind the scenes of some of these movies are wild.
So I'll breeze through some of my honorable mentions here. So I did have, you asked me about live action before we started recording, and I have a couple of live action here. Actually, I have 3 live action and 1 animated still. So my 1 animated is How to Train Your Dragon. Again, dude, I thought I was too cool for school. I was like, this movie looks like little kid movie. I went and saw it for my little brother's birthday party in theaters, and I was so hooked.
Captured your heart.
It captured my heart. And my other 3 are Night at the Museum. I've also one of my most watched movies. Ben Stiller, amazing. Robin Williams is in that too. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Great
Johnny
one.
Depp, and
weird movie, great though.
It is phenomenal. And then probably this could have gone in a different way for one of the best of all time, but Home Alone is one of my. Yeah, I would say that's got to be up there, right?
Yeah, I had the Santa Claus, but it's like a Christmas movie. So I was like, but I actually, because people always say, oh, Home Alone 2, best Christmas movie. It's the Santa Claus.
Really?
The Santa Claus, dude.
So I watched Home Alone 2, but it's like I got like most of the way through it, and I realized like they just like copy and pasted the first movie.
Yeah,
it's literally the same thing.
It's just in New York. Yeah,
it's just in New York.
Yeah. So my honorable mentions, I have quite a bit. I'm gonna breeze through them pretty fast. Hercules, Aladdin. Let's see. Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah. Okay.
Groundbreaking.
That's pretty groundbreaking too.
I almost put that in my top 3. It's literally like Amara says that it's her favorite like Spider-Man movie ever.
Yeah.
Like her favorite Marvel content. Like she loves it. It's so good. Let's see what other ones I have. Oh, I had Shrek. Shrek is so good, so fantastic. It was a little ruined by like the fourth and fifth one. The last couple ones were not that good. But
5,
the
6,
first
and 7,
one,
I didn't care for it.
8, 9, and 10 should be alright.
Yeah.
No, but let's see what else. Oh, The Mighty Ducks, great movie. Great movie. The second one I think might have been a little better. And Heavyweights, which is
Heavyweights.
yes, Heavyweights it's a very like
how could
under
I forget?
It's under the radar. Nobody knows it, but it is such a good movie. It's about fat camp. You got Ben Stiller in it. It is just such like a legendary kids movie. So good.
Congratulations, you are the fattest boy in camp.
Body, dude. There's so many. Who's seen more butts, dude? There's some great lines in that. And then
I love to see it.
Oh yeah, I kind of want to watch it again now.
I know.
It's on Disney Plus, so
Ooh.
do yourself a favor. Go check it out. And this is on here. I didn't really care for it, but people lose their minds over it. Is The Goonies? I thought it was okay.
Yeah.
I didn't care for it, but people love it.
I think it's like a lot of parents would say like, oh, like this was the best kids movie when this came out. The weird thing about these older movies, I feel like, even though like they talk about like, oh, the world's getting darker and like all this content's getting like more for kids, but like there's a lot of content in older movies like The Goonies that are for kids. That is like
weird.
Yeah, there's like a lot of adult content in it. Weirdly enough.
Or even like the fact that Sloth, like the reason he's like that is because his mom dropped him on his head a bunch.
Oh my gosh!
Did you ever pick up on that?
Yeah. No, I only saw it once, and I was like, oh, that was weird.
Yeah.
But that actually, Sloth freaked me out when I saw it.
Yeah, it was a bit interesting. So yeah, there was some dark stuff, but let us know. Go check out our Instagram. Check out the poll. Maybe even write in, see what your favorite movies are, and we'll tell you how you're wrong because we just talked about them. All right. Peter, anything else to add?
Hope everyone listening survives the hurricane and has a great week.
Yeah. Will we have a episode next week?
I don't know.
Yes.
So I'm sorry I said it with you.
No, that was great.